Picture yourself as reflecting out into the world through a series of aspects. These aspects that we all develop through life are a bit like a stack of DVDs. You can plug and play this one and talk about your spirituality and everything that you do and practice in that space of spirituality. Then you can eject that, because it might not be wise to play that one in front of some friends. And you can plug and play something else. This one might talk about your driver and how you drive. It might talk about your social networks, who you meet with. It might talk about the sports that you like to play. Each one that you plug and play will have its own series of memories, its own series of images, its own attitudes, its own behaviours, its own way of dressing, what it likes, what it prefers. As we go through life, we all develop literally thousands of these different aspects. We learn them, some of them passed on genetically. We have them when we're born. Some of them we learn along the way from people we're surrounded by, like parents, teachers, siblings, schoolmates. Yeah, whoever you connect with in the world helps you develop new aspects. Sometimes just being in nature develops another aspect all by itself without anyone being around at all. So as we look at all these aspects, there are literally thousands of them. That can make doing therapy extremely complicated as you try to sort them all out. To help make that easier, I've found a way over my years of practicing in counselling that simplifies things a lot. So in looking at all of those aspects that we all tend to project out into the world through, I've found that they each fall into one of three categories. Category one would be what I call the thinkers. These are the ones that are mind-based and think a lot. The one that's teaching you now, a thinker. And it talks in language of this is what I think, this is how I think, usually talks fairly quickly, very snappy energy, very valued in our culture and our society, because it's responsible for just about everything we've created. And this other part helped us do it. But with the thinking, yeah, teachers, the one that does the budgeting, figures, yeah, you get the picture. Intellectual based aspects. The next cluster I call the doers. These ones talk in the language of this is what I do, this is how I do it. Often physical based. So in this space we'll talk about body, gender, sexuality, work. This is what I do for work, this is how I do it. It looks at lots of physical things like health, diet, exercise. The doers. Third category, the feelers. These ones are all about connection. If that energetic, loving connection is present and flowing, then we talk in languages of love, peace, comfort, calmness, joy, happiness. Get the picture? Yeah, we're all seeking that. If that energetic connection is not there, is for whatever reason shut off, then we start to talk in languages of despair, sadness, anxiety, depression, frustration, anger, worry, concern, fear. Obviously not the way we want to be in life, and that's what brings us to therapy. In absolutely every case, without exception, every person who has ever come to therapy with me has presented in a space of lovelessness, a space of worry, concern, fear, doubt, judgment, guilt, criticism. Yeah, not a comfy place to be. Where we all want to be is open, connected, flowing, loving thoughts, loving actions, or just being in that space of love and peace and quiet and contentment. That's what we want in life, yet we keep getting this. How does this happen? Whichever lines of thought that you use, loving, connected, or loveless, disconnected, of those two options, the one you use the most of all day, every day, will become your unconscious automatic habit. It will start to function in your life 10 times faster than you can think. Once that gets locked in as a habit, you can't change it. Hey, it might have even been passed on to you genetically. A good chance that habit was there before you were even born, because your parents developed it from their parents, who developed it from their parents. Most of us can look back in our families and see parents who have gone through world wars. It's quite obvious that that habit would need to develop in such a space. But now it's a challenge. Now we need to undo it, and it functions faster than we can think, and as such it's impossible to stop. It's like, damn, I've done it again. So the only way out of this is to create a new habit. To create a habit of loving thoughts, loving, caring actions, and being in that space of love as often as we possibly can. Focusing on being that and doing that, so much so that over time we develop a new unconscious automatic reflex, a new habit. Which tape would you like to have playing in your life? I am not good enough. I am not loving. I am not loved. This world is not good enough. They are not good enough. This job's not good enough. You get the picture? I don't like this. This is what I don't want. You ask this person what they do want, they say, I don't know, because they can't connect to that space that can answer that question. Or would you like to have that tape that says, this is what I want, this is what I love, I am love, I am peace, and so are they. This world is loving, this job gives me opportunities to find and connect to love. No brainer, isn't it? Which tape would you have? This one every time. Yet, we're not choosing it. Therein lies the dilemma. Choose it. Choose it often. First thing when you wake up in the morning, before you go to bed at night. Loving, connected thoughts. Meditation, being in that space of love and connection. Long meditations, they work great. Or short meditations. Have a look for the 5 cents meditation on my blog site. It only takes a minute, and if you do that 60 times a day, that's better than an hour's meditation, because you've gone to that space 60 times instead of just once for an hour. Developing this new habit, it's a bit like learning to drive. It's difficult at first, it takes focus, but with practice and repetition all day, every day, the more miles you get on the road, the more hours you spend driving, the more automatic your driving skills become. It is the same with our abilities, our skills of being loving and connecting to a loving space. We need to work on it, focus on it, challenge it, stay there hard and fast all day, every day. And eventually that new tape will start playing automatically in the back of your mind, and the old one, that'll just cease to be used. The brain has this amazing ability of taking out what's not being used. That fearful tape, that would be a good one to see eventually leave your system, leave your sphere of focus, returning you to a life of peace, love, happiness and joy. If you need support to do that, give me a call. I'll be here waiting.